Hi, Taehyung lovers. Welcome back to the Taehyung lovers channel around the world. And this time, don't you dare skip the first 3 seconds. Because April 2026 brings a question that feels unfair. How is it possible that one name still dominates the world while other idols are struggling just to survive? What is really happening behind the figure of Kim Taehyung, a K-pop visual who is not only trending, but is starting to be called the industry standard? In this video, we are not just discussing an exclusive interview with Rolling Stone that reveals the deepest side of Kim Taehyung, his confession about Layover that almost changed the course of his life, the emotional moment when talking about songs that were never released, and the secret is mindset inspired by Japanese writers. We will also uncover shocking fact about his dominance on global charts, including his landslide victory on the K-Star Artist chart, where Kim Taehyung was crowned the winner of the solo and featuring category with a staggering 56.14% of the votes, a number that left the public speechless, along with viral phenomenon on Instagram that sparked a collective reaction. Why does every in-person encounter with him always feel different? What we will discuss today is not just popularity. This is about influence, about an aura that cannot be explained, and about the possibility that the K-pop world is witnessing something far greater than just an ordinary idol. So make sure you watch until the end, because by the end of this video, you might question everything you thought you knew about BTS and Kim Taehyung's position within it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And if you feel this is not just content, but a fact the world needs to know, don't hesitate to make it go viral. Because one thing is certain, this story is not over, and what will be revealed next could be far more shocking. April 2026. If you're not ready, one thing will feel unfair. How can one name still dominate the world while others are struggling just to survive? In a dark room arranged with artistic precision, a warm lamp stands in the center, flanked by 2 classic speakers like guardians of the atmosphere. The Rolling Stone camera captures a moment that feels like more than just an interview. This is not just a conversation. This is a confession that opens the deepest side of Kim Taehyung. He sits calmly, leaning back with an aura that is hard to define. Half relaxed, half in control. His gaze is sharp yet peaceful, like someone who has made peace with himself. Across from him, the interviewer leans forward, trying to dig deeper than just formal answers. The deep red carpet beneath them feels like a silent stage, where 2 perspectives meet and one artistic journey begins to unfold slowly, without interruption, without distraction. When the topic shifts to the release of Layover, the atmosphere changes. Kim Taehyung's tone becomes more reflective, more honest, more human. If Layover had not been released, he says softly yet firmly, I think I would have been stuck as just a hardcore dancer and singer. That sentence is not a complaint, but a confession about the boundary that almost held him back, the thin line between the identity shaped by the public and the identity he built himself. In an industry that often locks idols into certain roles, this statement feels like a subtle resistance that is quietly powerful. The public does not just hear it. They begin to feel it and wonder, how many sides of him have never been shown? The conversation then expands to BTS's future, the dynamics after solo projects, and hopes of being together again. Yet Kim Taehyung's answer is surprising in its simplicity. He offers no drama, no manufactured conflict. I think it might change everything when we are together again, he says, before adding warmly. But actually we strengthen each other in an entertainment world often built on narratives of tension. This statement feels like rare honesty, and precisely because of that, its impact is so strong. The most emotional moment comes without warning, when the interviewer brings up unreleased songs, works that were created and then erased, emotions that never reached the public. Kim Taehyung pauses. There is a silence that speaks louder than words. For a moment, the public does not see a global superstar, but an artist who once doubted his own work. When the conversation shifts to a more personal side, he mentions Keigo Higashino as one of the writers who influenced his thinking, as well as the book 11 Steps, which shaped how he understands the world. He reveals a unique habit, not just reading, but imagining himself living inside the story. I find myself imagining, he says. This habit explains why his expression as an artist feels so imaginative and personal, as if every work is a fragment of his inner world. At first glance, this is just a simple interview. But when examined more deeply, it is a documentation of the transformation of an idol who is gradually asserting himself as a true artist. And outside that quiet room, the world is shouting even louder. In April 2026, in the announcement of the K-Star Artist Chart Pop K Top 10 Friday, Kim Taehyung was crowned the winner of the solo and featuring category with a staggering 56.14% of the votes. This is not just a victory. It is dominance, a gap. So wide it feels like a boundary between those who are popular and those who become the standard. This number reflects something greater than popularity. Charisma that cannot be engineered, a voice with a strong identity, and a visual aura that feels almost mythical. Another wave emerges in the digital world, this time more organic and unexpected. On Instagram, a post from a user with hundreds of thousands of followers about their encounter with Kim Taehyung instantly explodes. Tens of thousands of likes, thousands of saves, and hundreds of comments flood the post. But what makes the public obsessed is not just the numbers. It is the mystery behind the vague caption. The less that is revealed, the greater the curiosity it creates. The photos show a consistent pattern, a calm yet intense gaze, simple gestures full of meaning, and a presence that feels stronger than just visuals. This is not just about handsomeness. It is about how people feel something deeper than what is seen. The public reaction is almost uniform, a collective admiration. Kim Taehyung is not just seen, he is felt. Every story about direct interaction always ends with the same narrative, an aura that is hard to explain, a presence that is irreplaceable. And this is the core of the phenomenon. Chart victories are only the surface. Beneath it, there is a global emotional connection that cannot be measured by numbers. Popularity can be built with strategy, but influence like this is born naturally and is extremely rare. Congratulations, Kim Taehyung. The world may continue to change, trends may continue to shift, but one thing remains constant. Your name always finds its way back to the center of attention. And if today is proof, then one conclusion cannot be avoided. You're not just trending, you are the standard. Now the question is in your hands. Is this pure natural charisma, or something even the industry cannot explain? And at this point, you begin to realize this is no longer about popularity. This is about how one name, Kim Taehyung, still stands at the top while the world keeps changing. April 2026 has given its answer, but perhaps not everyone is ready to accept it. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoy content like this. If you don't like it, feel free to skip, because the Taehyung Lovers channel never forces anyone. But one question you cannot skip. In your opinion, is this pure charisma, or is there something bigger happening? Write your thoughts in the comments, because your opinion could become part of this bigger story. And don't forget, help make it viral, so the world always sees the good side of Kim Taehyung. Stay tuned for the latest updates only on Taehyung Lovers. That concludes our meeting. Good night, stay safe, and see you again. But remember, this story is not over, and what will be revealed next could be far more shocking.